Call the meeting of the October 4th, 2022 meeting of the Alcohol License Advisory Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Benson?
Here.
Committee Member Bruner?
Here.
Committee Member Bumpus?
Here.
Committee Member Henry?
Here.
Committee Member Sikich?
Here.
Committee Member Strunz? Chairperson Williams?
Here.
All are present.
Item number 2 is approval of minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections, or do I have a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Voice vote?
Do you want to do all in favor?
Sure. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Item number 3 is requests and comments from the public regarding items on the agenda not requiring a public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on anything other than the items on the agenda? Seeing none, application for a Class B temporary license by the Inclusive Charity DJ Network. Who's here?
Record.
Hello, my name is Jacob Sailing. It's 4950 North County Road F, Janesville, Wisconsin, 53545.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're planning on doing?
Yes, basically throughout the last few years, we've been doing professional wrestling out at the Rock County 4-H Fairgrounds. We've been doing it at the Stock Pavilion along with the Craig Center. And on October 15th, we have another event coming up, so we were just looking to get the Class B license to be able to serve beer.
This is going to be from 4 till 9:30?
Yes, probably closer to 4 to 8. Doors open at 4. The event actually doesn't start till 6. We have collectibles and vending that also go around, so it's kind of just for the people to come in, choose their seats. You know, we weren't probably going to sell beer until actually the event started at 6, though. So we're looking at from 6 to 8.
And I see you're doing wristbands. How many bartenders you get?
Currently now we have Dan Schultz, which is a licensed bartender at East Point. He was planning on bartending. We do have another one on reserve just in case. Basically, if you're familiar with the Craig Center, there is actually a little serving spot where their kitchen is. So people can come right up to that, but we are also looking at just doing the wristbands right as soon as people enter at the door. I'm also working with a security guard, but we technically have 14 large wrestlers, so I don't feel that there would be any problems. We used to do this out at the Pontiac Convention Center probably about 5-6 years ago, and we used to have 400 to 500 people come to these events. It's always been family friendly. We're not like the smash you through tables type of wrestling. We are like the 80s character-based wrestling. Like I said, at the Pontiac, we had almost 150 children there the one time. We had a $1 beer night, not on the same night, but it was a $1 beer night, and we had no issues with that. So we got a great crowd, great fan base, and like I said, we're just trying to serve. One of our sponsors is Gray Brewing Company, so we're trying to use his products to also just promote and cross-promote with the community.
Questions? Mark?
Is the county aware that you're going to be selling liquor?
As far as the county, I mean, I've spoke
You're
with...
renting this from the county?
Yes, yes.
Are they aware that?
Sarah, yes, the people down there have been helping me get in contact with everybody, so yes.
And I believe when you rented this, then you had to pay an extra $100
Correct.
to the county?
Yes.
Okay. So, anything else? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the application for a temporary license.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve a temporary Class B license by Inclusive Charity DJ Network. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes unanimously. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank
Application for renewal of a operator's license for Dawn M. Pachinko?
Palucci?
To, name and address for the record, please.
Dawn Palucci, 2309 Highland Avenue, Janesville, 53540.
This bartender's license was given a negative recommendation by the police department. Deputy Chief, do you want to give us an explanation on why your negative recommendation?
Sure. Ms. Palucci was involved in a pretty serious incident in January 16th of last year. She had broken up with her boyfriend apparently and was at down the street bar with him and another person. He left. She got upset. Apparently, the witness says that they were drinking and using cocaine at that bar, and then went back to his house while he was gone, broke in, committed a burglary, committed about $15,000 worth of damage, and there was two separate fires that were started outside the residence. Fire department determined there was two different sources and believed that a accelerant was used for those, and they found a canister of gasoline that was missing from the scene there. So based on that, I don't think it's been totally gone through the court system yet. However, like I said, this is a pretty serious incident. Felonies involved in this. And I just don't think that she should have a bartender license due to the seriousness of the crime and the fact that she was using intoxicants and potentially drugs the night this happened.
And your reply would be?
I'm not sure where that information about drug use came from. I don't use drugs. There was an incident.
Could you talk up a little bit towards the mic?
Sure. I'm not sure where the information regarding drug use came from. That is not true. There was an incident. It has gone through the court system. It's currently on a felony hold open agreement, so I have not been convicted of any felony. There was 2 misdemeanors involved with that. I've repaid every single cent of restitution that I've owed. I've been on probation for the last year with 0 problems. I have served alcohol since I was 18 years old, since 1995. I've never had any issues whatsoever regarding alcohol and to be quite honest with you, this alleged crime that happened was the only incident in my life whatsoever where I've been in any trouble. I'm a single mother. I'm in school. I have 2 jobs. I have 2 children to raise. I serve drinks where I work now without issue. I make drinks right now where I work without issue. Alleged drug use is, I'm not really sure where that came from, but that is not true. I don't use drugs. I'm a contributing member of society.
Where do you work right now?
I currently work at Stagecoach in Fort. Unfortunately, there weren't enough shifts for me. I was working at O'Reilly's when I applied for the license, and unfortunately, because I was denied the alcohol serving license, I didn't have enough shifts to work there to be able to support my family.
Paul?
Did they test you for cocaine or anything? Did they take you in and test you?
No.
So there was no positive test?
No,
Okay.
not at all, no.
And all of these incidents happened on one evening?
It was one evening, yes, and the alleged witness that gave a statement was not used in court because he was proven to not be telling the truth.
You are on probation right now?
Yes, yes.
Are the conditions of your probation anything as far as?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I, can't have any police contact. I can't, speak with the victim. I can't, anything, and can't, there's nothing about me not being in a bar, though.
No alcohol use or no?
There's nothing that states I cannot use alcohol, no. No, I'm on the lowest level probation possible because I have no criminal history. I have no drug use history. I have no alcohol use history. I don't have any DUIs, nothing like that.
You've lived in Wisconsin, 2 years?
I lived in Wisconsin 2 years, yes, that's correct.
And previously you were in Illinois?
Previously I was in Poplar Grove, Illinois, just outside of Rockford. Never any issues as far as getting in trouble there either.
George?
Okay, so are you doing any bartending now?
I work at Stagecoach. I waitress. I make some drinks there. So technically, I do make drinks there without issue.
Yeah, but you were saying that you worked at O'Reilly's or whatever.
Yes, I was working at O'Reilly and Conway's right here in town, yes.
So are you doing any bartending in Janesville now?
I'm currently not, no. However, I would like to pick up a third job and bartend a couple of nights a week here in town.
Do you have an offer for employment or?
I don't. I have a friend that works at Looking Glass. I work at Ulta as well. And she said, hey, if you're able to bartend and you can get a license, we have shifts available. Also, I have taken the bartender safety course, the course that's required online. I took that over the summer as well.
Okay. I guess I have no further questions right now.
Thank you.
But technically, she could still
So you can still
bartend,
bartend.
just couldn't be the only bartender.
Right, which is why I lost some shifts at O'Reilly's, because the nights that they need a bartender, they need a single person to be there with a license, so they'd have to have somebody else there with me anyway.
Deputy Chief, does she have any record that you know of in Illinois?
I don't believe so, no.
I have some comments on this, and I looked at it and I couldn't find anything either. She's 1 year into her 2 years of probation, which I know can be quite strenuous in reporting and all the rest like that. The restitution was only $1,000, not $15,000.
That is correct,
and
yes.
it's already been paid.
Paid before I was even,
She owes the
yeah.
court system no money at all.
Yes.
And it just sounds like she had a really bad hair day.
Yes.
The thing is about and I understand the deputy chief's point here about the felon. There's more than a few serious felons who already have licenses currently now. Of the 1,000 that we have, or 990, whatever license we have. That being this her only incident or bad hair day, as I would refer to it, it must have been an awful day.
It was horrible.
Personally, I don't see holding it against her. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
I tend to agree, and it's up for renewal again in June. So if it didn't go well, she has to reapply in June.
Is that when it's due again?
June of odd years, right?
Yes.
So June of 2023, she'd be back here. So I would tend to agree with Mr. Bumpus.
So, getting back to the bad hair day, you just did this.
It was very much a toxic relationship. I've actually been in therapy since this has happened. It was a very narcissistic, toxic relationship. Unfortunately, alcohol, was involved on my part in drinking too much that night and, allowing myself to let this happen. However, I did everything I could in my power to make it right afterwards, apologizing to the victims, making sure that they, were repaid every cent that they were owed. I'm not a bad person. I don't like to do bad things. I like to be a role model for my kids. So, unfortunately, we all have bad hair days, I guess, as you like to call it. But I've done everything in my power to make it right. Have had 0 incidents on probation.
So you were drunk that night then?
I had a couple of drinks that night, yes, but drugs were not involved. I don't do drugs. Never have, never will.
I think some people might say that alcohol is a drug too, so.
I understand.
Okay. Any further questions?
I guess the only question I would have is knowing what he knows now, could he ask him if he would approve it? Like, I don't want her not to be able to get this license because you cannot get a bartending job in Janesville without a license. 'Cause
Correct.
It's pretty much one bartender unless you're but I also don't want to go against what our police thinks either.
Which I understand, and that police report is very damaging to, myself. However, the one witness in the case, if you will, is a known drug dealer.
Yeah.
And I understand the police officer's position. However, we all make mistakes in our life, and I've done so much to try and move forward from that.
Paul?
Yes.
Okay, so this was an incident of January 2021. So we're already getting close to 2 years since that incident.
Yes.
And shortly after that, you appeared in court, you were placed on probation, and there's been no issues,
None.
no police contacts,
Absolutely none.
no more bad hair days,
Absolutely none.
okay?
As a matter of
So-
fact, I go to cosmetology school, so my hair is usually usually in place. So
So, okay, so I guess the thing is, from my background, I would probably support the police on this.
which I
I think the
understand.
thing is that as I'm looking at it, with the agreement made with the court as far as dismissing charges and completing probation, if this was January of this current year, I'd be a little bit more concerned, but it's almost 2 years. So I guess I can see the need, and I know, bartenders can make some good additional money, not only with what they get paid, but with tips and stuff like that. It's important to them. And I know the cost of raising a couple of children, so I guess my only thing is if I vote to approve this license or for you, I don't want to see you back here again except to reapply.
I promise you won't. I've had enough with court and official, my life is very different, very much so.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
I'll second.
I guess I would just say too, that if we see you back here again, it's, and I know we've been calling it a bad hair day, but it was a pretty serious event.
I agree with
You're
you.
just lucky that nobody was seriously injured or killed, so.
I agree with you.
Okay. We have a motion to approve an application renewal of an operator's license for Dawn M.
Palucci, yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I've lost my iPad. Alcohol license extension for Quick Trip number 1145 North 1100 North Wright Road. It's, you know where the Quick Trip is. Do you have them on the phone or?
I've got,
Oh,
Quick Trip is here, Hy-Vee was next.
okay.
Dax Conley, Real Estate Manager, Quick Trip, 1626 Oak Avenue, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Yep, second request. We're getting close.
Looks like.
We plan to turn this store over to retail on the 21st of this month, and then we have a ribbon cutting scheduled for November 2nd at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So we shouldn't be back for a third. We knew this was going to be close.
Any
I'll just
questions?
make- I'll move approval unless someone's got questions.
I don't see any questions.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No.
Thank you.
See you.
I don't expect we'll see you back here again, but.
I hope not. We do have a power issue that we're trying to work through. We're working with city staff now to be able to open on a generator because we were not able to get an electrical panel to get this store up and running. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
They're on back order?
Yep, they're all back ordered. They're taking anywhere between 12 to 18 months to be able to get electrical panels. We've contacted every power company from Alliant to Riverland to XL Energy to try to secure a panel.
And would it be a good bet that Quick Trip is now going to stock quite a few of those panels? when you can get them?
Well, the problem is that each city requests or demands a different type of panel. So you can't just go order these things and keep them in stock. You get through approvals.
I would have thought all those panels would be the same, but that's.
Nope,
I
each
understand.
substation's different, yep.
That's why I have gray hair, but you are losing yours because you're pulling it out because of all the different rules, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, it's certain. So
Well-
I think 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. today, we've got a call with staff here to try to work through running a generator until that panel shows up.
So a panel in Madison isn't a panel that you can use in Janesville?
Possibly, but most likely not. Everybody requires something different. And then they're made per community, per power company. Oh, yep, it's a tough racket.
Wow.
I just read an article that Amazon secured $40 million worth of just inside electrical panels, like what's in your house. So they know there's a shortage, so they went and they bought all of their sub panels for inside the building, but this is the one that's outside the building that pulls the power to the building. So it's pretty amazing what's going on out there in the world of supply and demand.
I noticed the building went up quite rapidly, and the big mound of black dirt has disappeared, so I was expecting not to see you, but we got the agenda, I thought, okay.
120 days from the time they break ground.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Who knew that panels were different? Application extension for Hy-Vee, 2500 Humes Road.
On the phone, at my speaker here, I have Tyler Power, Director of Government Relations with Hy-Vee on the phone. Tyler, do you want to check in and give your name and address for the record?
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Tyler Power, Director of Government Relations for Hy-Vee. My address is 11264 31st Street in Milan, Illinois. This is the first extension that we are requesting for our liquor license in the city of Janesville. As I'm sure many of you know and have possibly experienced, we've had numerous delays just due to different supply chain issues for building materials. Equipment is also another pain point that we've been trying to navigate. Refrigeration units is one that comes to mind that we've had quite a bit of issues trying to secure through our procurement process. Not only the amount, but the right types of refrigeration equipment, and there's a whole host of other issues that we've run into as far as just trying to find the materials to do that. So we are before you today asking for an extension on our liquor license.
Do you have a crystal ball telling us anything as far as when you think it might be?
I wish I did, because obviously the store, being in business, we would be able to, open and make money by the time that it's open. So, having a store that's not open makes it tough, but we're still hoping early 2023 is going to be on our time frame. So in the next month or so, we're going to be opening a different store in La Crosse, and then shortly thereafter at Schwabenon. So we've been working on those concurrently. So we have seen it become a little bit easier to get some of the equipment, but still trying to navigate a lot of those issues to get them open.
Any questions from the committee? Or no? Motion?
Sure. I'll move that we approve the application for first extension of 90 days by Hy-Vee.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the alcohol extension for Hy-Vee's 2500 Humes Road. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously.
Thank you, Tyler. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah.
You too. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
You might want to give him a call. I don't think he heard you. Alcohol extension for Pearl of the Orient, 2701 Milton Avenue.
Chairperson Williams, did we vote on number 6? We did, right? That was Benson Bruner, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And then we had Benson Bumpus. I just didn't want to miss one here. Now, with the Pearl of the Orient, I have new information from Liz asking if they can call in. Did they ask ahead of time? Can you come up for?
I usually call to verify if they're coming, so I called her, and she was running late, so I asked her if she was going to be here by 8:30-ish. She said she'll be here in 20 minutes. I don't see her. I asked her if we can call her, if that would be okay, so it's up to you guys if you want to just move her to the November meeting, or if you want to just try calling her, since she was running late.
I see that there is work being done there. She's just
Yep.
running into the same construction problems as everybody else.
I believe so, yes.
How's the committee feel? Do we just?
I'm fine approving it. I mean, if it's first extension, they must, I mean, that sign, what do you think that sign cost them, Mo? Like 50 grand? I mean, they probably, they're clearly moving forward.
Okay, do we want to just approve it?
Yeah, give her a
Okay.
call and tell her she can.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the application by Pearl of the Orient for a 90-day extension.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the alcohol license extension for Pearl of the Orient, 2701 Milton Avenue. And I believe if she wasn't in town, she's probably coming from West Bend area, and that can be quite a feat at this time of morning. Tell her we appreciate her trying to make it here, but we'll approve it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously.
Heard the elevator ding.
Yeah.
Oh. Staff reports, police department, anything out of the ordinary?
Report this month.
Clerk, photo reports?
So nothing on the quota or the temporary license issued, but you did ask for some follow-up on some license conditions. So Shelby's Custom Catering, they will need their first extension 90 days. Their 240 days are up December 21st.
Remind me again, where is that at?
That's the London House.
Oh, okay, sure.
And then Papa Doc's Axe, they have their 240 days coming November 23rd, so you'll see them in December for an extension if they aren't up and running. The Old Fashioned Corner Pub, which is the bank over on the east side across from Mercy East, their 240 days will be up in February of 23. So we have 3 outstanding right now that have not been before you for extensions. And of course, you know, today you took care of Quick Trip Hy-Vee and Pearl of the Orient. The decision that has to come before ALAC this morning is what you want to do with Lucky Ducky Diner. We have, well, by we I mean Liz has diligently tried to make contact with the owner and the agent, and we have been very unsuccessful. We sent certified letters on the 14th of September. We sent a letter to the agent. We've had return mail. And so in order to recoup this license, the city would need to hold a hearing. And based on the contact that we haven't had, I would imagine that if you set the hearing for the same time as the end of the next ALAC meeting, they would likely not show. And it, you know, the city could then pull that license unless you want to, you know, let it sit a while longer.
No.
No?
I'd say we do it.
Yeah. So you'll put that on our next meeting?
Okay, and this would be my first type of hearing with the with the city of Janesville, so I will
Would
work
be my
with,
first too.
I will work with
Could
the
we
city
have the,
attorney.
city attorney here at this
We
time,
would
too?
have to likely have the city attorney available to be able to conduct the hearing because it is a legal procedure, the conduction of a hearing, and we do have a policy that holds it all together. So I'll see what I can do to get that pulled together for November. That is right in front of the November election, so
It's a full revocation hearing, is that?
is a full revocation
Yeah,
hearing. Yep,
okay,
it'd be
and-
revoking.
Yeah, years ago, we had some of those, so. The license wouldn't expire, until June or July?
30th,
Pardon?
June 30th
Yeah,
of
that's what
23.
yeah,
But someone else could be using it.
so, I understand that it's tied up, but
Could you send,
if, the question I would have, if we schedule a hearing and we're not able to contact them somehow, or if we don't hire somebody to do a personal service or notice of hearing, then I need an opinion from the attorney, from the city attorney. If there's no show, can we just take action, or are we have to sit here and just let it go?
Yeah, and I don't have an answer,
know.
you know. We will try to use a process server for this type of a hearing, but, you know, every bit of contact we've tried to have has been avoided.
is Scott the still owner of the building?
Liz, who still owns the building? I know you tried to reach out to the owner too. Yes. And you did make contact with them, right?
So I made several contacts. At some point, there was in the rumor mill that Ed Corna wanted that building, and Ed was asking in regards to it, but then he kind of backed out completely. So I called him, and he said that there's some money owed, so he did not want to get involved in that. And then I also contacted Scott because Mike was leasing from Scott. But I'm not sure if Scott owns the building or if he leases it and then,
Subleased it.
yeah, subleased up. But I was told that there was some money owed in regards to
Whose
it.
name is actually who's the, on the license?
Mike.
Mike?
I can't think of the name right now. I can go look at my desk.
Well, he doesn't own any of the buildings, but he owns like 4 other bars in the area.
If you could send that to us, just to refresh our memories, and then
The one,
if
I think he owns one
it's
on
not too
80 and
difficult, could you send
Oh, he does.
in an email to
one and
the committee members, the process for doing
Sure.
the revocation hearing?
In the past, we've been able to avoid the hearing by sending the letters with the relinquishment paperwork with it, and it's always worked in the last 20 years I was here.
Well, we always have that one.
Right, but I didn't know if you guys already tried
Yeah,
that.
so the first letter that I sent to him was just letting him know we wanted an update on the license. And I also sent it with the relinquishment form, just stating like, if you no longer want this license, please relinquish it back to the city. That mail was returned, then we resent it to the new address that was the forwarding address. The certified mail also went with a relinquishment form, stating that we would need to, we have tried contacting him several times, so we're not getting anywhere. If he no longer wants the license, to please relinquish it back to the city. That was also sent to the agent with the relinquishment form for the person to relinquish the license, and there was no contact from all 3. I've left several voicemails. He was pretty good at answering the phone before, so I'm not sure what happened. Because I had no problem talking to him, or he would come in, or I would call him, and he'll show up at the clerk's office within like 10 minutes of me making contact with him. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened where he's no longer wants to talk to us at all.
I guess for the clerk, our next meeting is going to kind of be right on is it election day also?
November 1st, so it's the week before.
Okay. And you don't need more than a couple hours to prepare for an election
That's right.
or a revocation hearing.
I'm
so-
ready now. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll get that information out to you on the process. I'll connect with Wald and we'll see what we can do to get him notified by a process server and we'll go from there. But I believe that was all of the updates that you had asked for from the last meeting.
And if you could include in that the names of the agent and the owner of the building that you know and the person who has the license in it. And there may be some people on the committee that may know these people personally and maybe can step up the process.
I don't know, based upon what was stated, if there's some financial complications or something, I guess it'd be nice, or at least you should get it down as to who actually owns that building. I mean, it's got to be on record as far as who the owner is. So you might want to make sure you have that information, for sure.
Right, yeah, we have the building owner information.
Okay,
Yeah.
because if it's kind of complicated, somebody's leasing and subleasing and stuff like that, I would think the building owner, if he's not getting his money and things, would have an interest in this too as to what's going on, so.
All right. We already went through the temporary licenses, there's nothing there.
So
Okay.
I guess, I don't know if we can open talk, like, when you asked those other 3 places that were 280 days in, so they're just not filing for extensions, I guess, so how does that work, and what does that mean, I suppose?
So Shelby's 240 days are up December 21st, so they'll come to you in January for an extension if needed. Mm-hmm.
And that'd be, they get 240 days, then it's the first
You get,
extension?
right, you get 240 days to open.
I thought that I thought that got way lowered with the whole Corona deal 3 years ago with the Graff building and all the problems with Kirshner and those, I thought we lowered all those minimums.
I think we had some inaccurate conversation a few months ago on this.
Got raised because of that.
Ordinance is 240 days
On the-
to open, and then you can have 2 extensions.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're literally holding, this was the problem, they're holding liquor licenses for years.
Well, those are new ones under construction, new applications on the extensions. This one, the Lucky Ducky.
Yeah, I know
I
that
mean,
too.
I mean,
scenario. Yeah.
he has a license and is not using it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so like with the Quick Trip, you just issued the last, that's the last line of credit you're giving them to get open, so.
About 3.
You are.
So he just applied for his second 90-day extension.
And you're allowed a third
You-
one, $500.
You get 3.
Yeah.
So the difference between what was before.
Liz, you need to come up, okay. Okay. Or we need to put a microphone back
That's what
there.
I was saying, give her a mic.
I don't have the best memory, so I have to. So what I recall is that before you used to be able to ask for extensions, there was no limit to it. So then we did is we capped it at 3 extensions, and then it was 240 days. You get 90 days, $65. Second one, it's $130. Third request is $500, and we didn't have that before. It was just one fee, as many times as you wanted, and that's what kind of kept going with Ed over at the other location. So that was the difference before. So now it's you get 3 extensions.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem.
I guess I was either misread or misled on the initial 240. I knew all the other steps, but I
Right.
couldn't, I got it.
So yeah, now we're hoping that since we raised the amount you have to pay, then no one's gonna want to pay that for multiple extensions, so.
They're kind of stuck when they can't get the equipment though.
True that, but.
I mean, prior to COVID and lack of equipment, it was just people came in with a thing and then they had all kinds of excuses
Yeah.
and tied up the licenses, and so we tried to
Yeah, I
do
believe
that,
the
but
one
now-
down here on the corner went through all three, didn't it?
Which one?
The one down here at 5 Points, didn't that one
Oh,
go through all
yes,
three?
Yeah.
they did.
Again, that was an equipment issue too. He couldn't get the pumps. Yeah.
So anything else? Seeing nothing, we're adjourned.